Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Crypto Duck Life.
Let's give it some. Alright. Yeah. Well, it's Saturday morning, and hopefully by now you've crawled to the edge of your bed, stretched across, grabbed the half-open whiskey bottle, and are patiently glugging it back. Hope it'll waken you up just enough to get into the kitchen and pour yourself a proper drink. What do we have? Right, over the week, Bitcoin is actually up 2.7%. It was sitting today on 16,970. Ethereum sitting on 1272, which is a rise of 6.1%. And BNB has dropped 3% and is sat on 291. Over the week, the big winner was FTM, up 35% positive. ApeCoin was up 24%, and that's because of their new staking system. GMX is up 16%, that's because it's kicked Uniswap off the top spot for the decentralized exchanges. RPL, Rocket Protocols, up 19%. Nothing really on the downside. BTSE was down 9%, and Nexo is down 7.7%, but yeah. So what are we going to see? Look, we're not out of the doldrums, all right? Like I said last time. Yes, we're going to have a nice little positive movement off the bottom. But it will hit those, especially the psychological proper support lines. And we'll probably bounce back down again. And we're going to keep bouncing in these two zones for the upcoming weeks. News-wise, Three Arrows liquidators have started their control of assets. They've already collared 35 million plus out Singaporean banks and a super yacht. Department of Justice is demanding FTX. Yeah, it demands FTX investigation. Nothing surprising there. Signal, which is one of the best secure messaging apps, is adding support for private payments through crypto. This has no set date yet, but it's coming soon. Opera crypto browser, if you haven't used it, I would definitely give it a try. It's not quite as good as Brave as far as what networks it supports, but it is far better at what it does support. I've been doing quite a long-term test with Brave and Opera. I'll have to do a video on that soon. Anyway, Opera Crypto Browser is adding in instant NFT minting for free. It's partnered with Altion Launchpad to do this. It'll be quite interesting. The browser is getting better on a weekly basis. Lots and lots of updates. As you would expect. I mean, Opera is probably one of the biggest and most well-known browsers out there. So they've got quite a bit of oomph behind them. So that's all good. Right, so let's break down the big hits over the week, so to speak. So, some pro-Ethereum people in the know decided to make a bit of a joke on Twitter regarding wrapped Ethereum, WETH, losing its pegged status. Now, quite a few of these people joined in. They all thought it was hilarious because understanding contracts and understanding how Ethereum works, they know it can't lose peg. They know that they were taking the piss and joking. Unfortunately, less intelligent journalists were putting out news reports saying that fears of it being in trouble, which of course, you know, terrified then millions of investors. I have to be honest, I kind of saw the funny side and laughed at the original post. It was very tongue-in-cheek, offering half an Ethereum for any wrapped Ethereum, to bail you out. But it grew and grew, and the results were pretty nasty. I'm quite sure a few people panicked. Anyway, I guess that's life, isn't it? Bitfront Exchange has announced its closure. Bitfront, if you're not familiar, is founded by Line. And Line, if you're not familiar, is the biggest social company of China, based around their Line messaging platform and shitloads of other things. They even do antivirus, for fuck's sake, give you an idea of the scope of their technology. They're pretty big boys out there. Cardano ADA had a really good week last week, behind the scenes, shall we say. Plutus completed several key updates. ADA themselves officially announced a stablecoin creation, and they did the Black Frost upgrade on the 27th. So much bullish news and great stuff happening for them. Their price went down. Yeah, but shit happens. This is all stuff for the future of their blockchain. So I think long term it remains very bullish and very good. We've seen Elon share the latest Twitter Mach 2 details, but payment side was left deliberately blank to keep speculation rife. I've got no doubt he's playing it, and he'll have great fun making his money in the meantime. CoinSquare Exchange has suffered a data breach. Details are still coming forward on that one. Anyway, so other big events this week. We got the Miami Web3 Summit. That'll see some key announcements from a lot of the big players. You've got Sam speaking to the New York Times. That will also probably reveal some key points. We'll have to wait and see on that front. And GBTC, Grayscale, they've officially alleged that the SEC has harmed investors by refusing its application to convert to spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, this has to be answered by, I can't remember, 5th or 6th of December. So we'll see that coming in over the next few days as well. Shall we? Obviously, the big thing of the last 24 hours was BlockFi filing for bankruptcy. They had to pay a $30 million settlement fee with the SEC on top of the $275 million FTX loan, and have to deal then with the bear market. It's not a huge surprise, I guess. BlockFi have actually sued Sam to try to seize his 575 million share of Robinhood. We'll see how that goes. GitHub, everyone's favourite resource. It's released a list of the top 10 chains for daily development activity. It was quite an interesting read. It's worth adding them on Twitter, so go and do that. Just search GitHub, it will come straight up. Top 3, just for your knowledge: Ethereum at number 1, Cosmos at number 2, and Cardano at number 3. So if those 3 are not in your hodl bag, you're doing something very wrong. We talked about Grayscale yesterday and how fucked up their eBTC trust was, and yet more issues have come to the front today, while its ETH trust seems to struggle like mad. It's over a 50% discount over Ethereum at the minute, so blimey. Other things to note: around 70 million was pumped into LUNC over the last week. Could be a sign of some interest returning, maybe, possibly. It's a good sum, isn't it? Fidelity, the TradFi fintech, has started offering crypto trading services to its 40 million customers. So that's another boom. On December the 13th, there's apparently a House committee hearing into FTX. This is while the Fed's saying that recession can be avoided. There's a similar style meeting in Europe coming up as well, but you know, they're just talking about something that's already happened. Big whoops. Meta, have been fined 277 million for a large data breach. Jesus. And there's been a lot of questions regarding 127,000 BTC. That's 2 billions worth that were moved from a Binance wallet to an unknown wallet. Now, Binance originally said this is for an audit, but VC firms have been popping up all over the place pointing out that an audit would never ask you to transfer funds. Now, it could just all be part of a UTXO or whatever, but like, at the end of the day, they demanded transparency, and yeah, you know, if these sort of things are just normal occurrences, then they shouldn't be, you know, shouting out other people, should they? Right, look, news-wise, Animoca has detailed a 2 billion investment fund for metaverse projects. South Korea is seeking arrest warrants for the Terra Luna team. Brazil has moved closer to crypto adoption. As their inflation soars, they've done a bill that recognises BTC as an official payment method. At the same time as that, the European central banks are saying we should not give Bitcoin any standing whatsoever. So there is pushbacks against that kind of thing. Reports have come in that Sam, from being a billionaire, has only got 100 grand left. Yeah. Celebs are continuing to leave Twitter, with Jim Carrey being the latest one. Who gives a crap? OpenSea have integrated BNB chain. That's going to be good for them, I think, in the future. And crappy old shitcoin Shiba has somehow got itself as accepted as payments for fucking Swiss sports cars, and is being listed on another major New York exchange. What a lot of crap. And at the same time, XRP has been removed from Coinbase's wallet, along with Bitcoin Cash and a couple of other bits. They've cited lack of trading, which is somewhat odd when XRP is one of the largest volumes there is. So I would assume this is more to do with SEC regulatory bollocks. Oh yay, oh yay. I guess the big news of the last 24 hours is Sam's New York Times interview. I don't know how many of you bothered to listen to that outright, but I went through it all. Essentially, what did he say? Essentially, breaking it all down. He said, you have to bear in mind that FTX is not just FTX. There's FTX Euro, FTX Singapore, FTX Japan, FTX States, FTX Global, FTX Australia, and so on and so forth. And every one of those has got a board of directors, blah, blah, blah. The long and short of it was, he said he fucked up. He took his eyes off the ball. And the money wasn't there like you thought it was. He still believes that FTX America is solvent. He believes, like all of the other ones were solvent. FTX Japan, he said, was definitely solvent. He can't see any reason that those people have not been paid the money they're owed. He did say that, you know, they wasted so much time on stupid regulation and trying to get this and that through, and the fundamentals of reporting this, that and the other, that they took their eyes off the most important practice, which is, you know, what was owed to them and how much they owed, essentially. He denies obviously doing anything on purpose and just says it was a small clerical oversight, essentially speaking. It's all part of the fun though, I guess, isn't it? And as we go down this whole, regulation bullshit, the Euro Central Bank has released a full report which basically flat out lied and misled people reading it from the offset. The most awful one, I think, was a headline where it said the majority of transactions were illegal. When you actually looked in the report, there was no mention of any illegal transactions, and it come up with the fact that less than 0.15% of Bitcoin transactions could possibly be illegal activity. So, just shows you what crap they come up with. I mean, the other lies they come up with was the, damage in energy use, which I would like to point out is less than what banking uses. They were moaning about fraud and manipulation trying to be used to influence regulation, and it's like, well, that's exactly the same process that banks use. They were talking about fraud. Well, let's not forget some of the world's biggest banks. Look, Wells Fargo, it was fined $3 billion for fraud going back decades. Over the rest of the banking sector, hundreds of millions have been paid out in fines, and that's this year alone. Clearly it's just crap. So I'm not going to waste any further time on that. Kraken has cut 30% of its workforce. These are major cuts going on there. Like anything, it's crypto winter, things have to tighten up, I guess. Telegram is planning to create crypto wallets and a decentralized exchange. That's to go along with its TON blockchain. I guess that's all good. And ApeCoin, it's had a little bit of a pump as its staking platform becomes closer to reality. Talking of DEXs, Binance has sort of made a statement recognising the fact that the centralised exchange side of it might not be there in 10 years. They believe the industry is moving towards the decentralised outcome, but I'm quite sure before that happens they'll have some kind of DEX out there to keep those trading fees coming in. Right. Polygon APIs, they're going to be deployed on the graph soon, so hopefully we'll see a bit of a blip on both of those. Stripe has launched a fiat to crypto service for Web3. I'm not really a big fan of Stripe, but anything that makes it easier to get that fiat turned into crypto can only be a good thing. Magic Eden have launched a protocol that forces creator royalties. That's actually quite a good idea. It will increase the usage of NFTs in that area, I believe. Fleek Network and Fleek.xyz is advertising their content and delivery network for Web3. Definitely a company you want to be looking out for in the future. What they're doing is very interesting indeed. Ethereum, it seems to have successfully been tackling the issues with centralization and censorship. We discussed it when it was happening, but I've not really mentioned it for some time now. The amount of censored blocks is reducing, so it's good to see that effectively coming into play. Italy have announced plans to tax crypto at 26%. Galaxy Digital has agreed to buy GK8 from bankrupt Celsius. So that's good. And FTX Japan has announced they're going to start local withdrawals again, which is interesting considering it was, 2 days ago that Sam Bankman said that they should be able to do that. Maybe he does know a little bit about what was going on, who knows. And Coinbase has stopped NFT trading on the Apple app because Apple demanded 30% of all gas fees. Because Apple are cunts, and if you use an Apple device, you're a cunt. Oh, yes. Probably a controversial view, that one, but hey ho, I'm Android all the way. Right, well, I guess that's that. Go get drunk, I guess. Yeah, but that's about all I can say. Right, that was your Saturday. You can carry on drinking now until you don't remember you even watched this. In fact, you know, before you do that, if you'd be kind enough just to put my videos on a loop so I can get some views, that'd be much appreciated. You know, you just put it on at night time when you go to bed, or, you know, before you get drunk like now. It's all good. Yeah. Right, I'll see you Monday.
All things crypto by a duck life. See you next time.